Welcome back to the monthly investing adventure for December 2024. I do hope that you all had a great Thanksgiving. This is going to be the last month for this year for the monthly investing adventure before we make some changes going into 2025. Before we talk about all of that, let's take a look at the portfolio and then we'll go ahead and make our trades and I'll give you some of my thoughts for going forward. So right now we are sitting at 7,055 with some small market loss today. This is after the monthly contribution of $275 that was transferred in over the weekend. Without this, it's sitting at somewhere around 67.86, something like that. The performance year to date for the portfolio is 19.13%. You can see that it's below the S&P 500, which is returning a spectacular 28% for the year. This is expected. We have some bond allocation, we have some gold, but 19.13 through 11 months is pretty respectable. So as usual, we're going to make our trades using the trading dashboard. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at what the allocation for this particular portfolio looks like, and then some other things, and we'll go into the trading dashboard. So it's a 70% stock portfolio, which is divided in half, with 35% going to large cap growth, which is the QQQ, and 35% going to small cap value, as represented by AVUV. We do have a 20% allocation to bonds, represented by GOVT. This is an intermediate government bond ETF, so it's just treasury bills, bonds, notes of all duration, and then a small 10% allocation to gold. So it's not tracking the market 100%, but I do believe that over the long term, this is going to give you a good balance of growth and downside protection. So that's why I picked this particular allocation for this portfolio. In terms of the balance, like I said, it's doing great last month. It returned in November some 5.7%. And the balance over time, which is almost 2 years now, because we started in March of 23 and we're coming to the end of 24 here. And over the last, 12 months, it's been going above the orange forecasted line by quite a bit. So we're doing pretty well, but I do expect that this is going to drop down to the average line over time. It's that reversion to the mean, but we'll take it as it's doing great. So looking at our buys, we do have to sell some small cap value. But before we do any of that, I'm just going to do a quick refresh here so that I can make sure that everything in price is updated properly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to sell about $23 of small cap value. We're going to buy $100 of large cap growth and quite a bit of government bonds, 112, and then the balance into gold. So let's go ahead and make our trades. So first thing, selling $23 of AVUV. So I'll click on that. And this time I'm going to say sell. We're going to sell dollars at the market, 23. Get this previewed and then placed. All right. Next up is QQQ, the NASDAQ 100. This is our large cap growth. And we're going to be buying dollars, market 100. Get this previewed and get this placed. Okay, I think we're going to do about $112 of GOVT. Let me double check that, 112. So we're going to buy dollars at the market, 112. Preview and get this placed. Last but not least, we're going to buy some GLDM. Buy dollars at the market. And I'm going to do some math here to make sure that I just pick up every penny because I don't want to have leftover funds. So we have 275 3.04 in cash, and we spent 188.95 so far. So we can do 86.09 to gold. So I'll put in 86.09 and I'll let the system figure out the rest. We're going to get our warning about a commodity, but we're going to place our order. And that's pretty much it. This is now all done. So overall, we made $275.01 in buys today, leaving us with 3 cents in cash for next month. All right, so that's the buy for the portfolio for the monthly investing adventure. So what are some changes coming up? Well, since this is December of 2024, we're going to be making our next buys in January. And if you recall, one of the goals of the investing adventure is to teach good investing habits, which means that every year we're going to be increasing the amount of money we're going to contribute to the account each month. So we started this adventure by contributing $250 a month to the account. We started at zero in March of 2023. After we crossed 2024, I increased the monthly contribution by 10%. So we upped that from 250 to 275. Well, in 2025, it's a new year and we're going to do the same thing. If I did the 10% math on 275, it's going to come out to something like 302.50. So I'm going to round 302.50 to a nice round number. So for January of 2025 and every month in 2025, we're going to increase it to $305 a month for contribution. Hopefully you're doing the same, whatever amount you're working with. If you're doing more and you're getting a salary increase, always remember to pay yourself first. And that's how you really build wealth. In terms of the allocation for the portfolio, there's not going to be a change to this one. I know there's some talk about, whether the new incoming administration is going to be a boon for the market or not. We don't know. Some of the policies that are bandied around could be inflationary, which would be a negative for the markets. But whether or not they get implemented, like I said, we don't know. So for now, we're going to hold steady with our allocation, make our buys on a monthly basis. The only change that we're going to have is to up our contribution from $275 a month to $305 a month starting in January of 2025. All right, thank you for following along on the monthly investing adventure, and I'll see you next month. Have a great week.